Hey.
Hi, Ali.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Could be better, but overall good. Yes.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, I'm aware. I'm aware. That's okay. I mean, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the LinkedIn live conversation. I think I had my eyes on you from the very beginning. Where I was like, let me do a couple, so I'm like aware of what needs to be done, and
Oh, thank you
you're
for
here.
having me. No, thank you for having me. I'm so delighted to be here, and really is my pleasure. So, yes.
Of course, of course. I think every time you and I have had conversations or worked in any capacity, I've had just so much fun and I have so many stories that I always go around telling people, oh, and she said this and I said that and we did this. So you always have these stories, but nobody really gets it. They have
Mm.
to see us in action. They have to actually listen to us yapping live in some capacity. Of course, this
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
like a
We
public
will have,
platform.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So
absolutely.
we
Good
do our
working.
best.
Yeah.
And also because every time I comment on any of your posts any on social media, I always write ally, and the people are like, what, why? Like, I'm like, no, it's not an ally, it's an ally.
Ali.
So
Because from that conversation with our then boss, and I was so nervous, and we were practicing for a session that we were presenting together, and I said Ali instead of ally, right? And that
yeah.
you never let me forget. Now I'm your forever Ali. It's true.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, you honestly are my forever ally. You've always you've lived up to the tag as well. So I'm very happy about that. But I mean, I'm also one of those, the class jokers, the class clowns who doesn't let it go too easily. So I'm living up to that name.
Yes, you are. Okay. Hmm.
Oh, awesome. All right. So today we're going to talk about something very interesting. The topic in mind is the stories we carry, women work, and what it takes to be okay.
Hmm.
And I know that you do a lot of work in the women's space
Yeah.
and women in workspace and otherwise, and a lot of work in the mental health space as well.
Hmm.
And I think these are all evergreen topics. You can never have enough content out there, never have enough opinions out there. But the way you do work in these spaces is really unique. And I just felt that it would be so interesting to get your perspectives on certain things, to just I don't know, go back and forth and figure what do you really feel about certain stuff and how do you go about it, right?
Hmm.
So just want to kind of pick your brain here. But before that, for the people who maybe have not met you, how sad, or haven't known you, or maybe watching you for the very first time, would you want to give them a quick introduction?
Yes, yes. Well, hello everyone. My name is Naomi. My pronouns are she, her. I am a DEIB consultant, but it's also my core value. I really believe in inclusion, our right to be who we are and to be supported all the way to be who we are. I'm a mental health and well-being advocate. I am also an author and a poet and a co-parenting mother to two teenagers who are 16 and 13. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Wow. All right. So you obviously left nothing, like left out nothing. You're like
I've been
this,
working
this.
on this elevator pitch, and I think I got it a
You
little bit
nailed it.
right.
You nailed it. You nailed it. And you nailed it. You didn't. I felt like you're not even breathing in the middle. Like you got it so right.
It only took me 20 years, by the way.
Only,
It's a
only. All right.
long journey. Yeah, I finally become it. All the trying and the trying and the trying. At some point, you become it. Yeah, it took me
Interesting.
20 years. I
Interesting.
hope it takes everybody else far less,
Of
but it
course.
takes
Of
as
course.
long as it takes. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Mm.
And don't get fooled by all the titles that Naomi just gave. She's way more than that. She's way more than that. She's a fantastic friend. She's a fun co-worker. She's someone who stands up for what is right. She's someone who's courageous, brave, bold, apologetic, and at the end of the day, she's a fantastic person. Like she will tell you that a spade is a spade, but won't make you feel bad about it. Like that's a very rare quality that you can give like hard opinions without sugarcoating it, but the other person won't even feel like bad or let down or demotivated.
Oh God, I hope so. Thank you. Thank you for that, Sonali.
Yeah.
You're really very generous. Thank you very much. Yeah.
It's been such a fun thing working with you, and I just felt like we have to continue somehow being in each other's work lives. Of course, we are in each other's social lives, but work lives
Yes.
somewhere or the other, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. All
Absolutely.
right.
Hmm.
Which takes me to maybe a first kind of a question. Although this is not like an interview, but still we'll go with it.
Yeah.
So we'll start with a little bit of the origin story, the history, right? So if there's one story, anything from your career, your childhood, or your journey as a woman that you feel has shaped you to showing up at work today, what do you
Mm.
think it would be?
Yeah. A big question. Huh? So, um, I have to say that the one thing that has shaped me as to how I show up today in work and in every part of my life is the decision to leave my 15-year marriage. I had two children, at that point who were 9 and 12, and and as I said, it was a long marriage, and to choose to leave, to choose my happiness and my growth, be, because I recognized that were stagnating, as a couple, or we were not growing together. And it wasn't serving me, or all of those things is so selfish. How, and yet I did it. I prioritized myself. And it was a really hard choice. How can you leave any marriage, and especially in the Indian narrative, right? When because you're not growing together, because a relationship is stagnating, those are not reasons to leave. Yet I did. And so, and I can't tell you, and I didn't do it lightly. It was very, very hard to make that choice, because I'm carrying 2,000 years of patriarchal legacy that is all about selflessness. On top of that, I was a mother, put the children forward, all of that. And to go against that, it cost me everything in some ways. But when I chose myself, it changed something on a cellular level. And I think I was um, yeah. And so then it starts showing up in every part of your life. And so when you say, I'm not afraid to speak up now, once you start choosing yourself, and I'm certainly not saying everybody leave their relationships, absolutely not, that is not at all what I mean. But once we start choosing ourselves, like really intentionally, then there's a vibration, there's a cellular rearrangement, and it really needs to be a rearrangement, because as women we just inherit this thing of the others first, that enable me to take space. So I take space differently. I do put my voice and my opinion forward, so I occupy space differently. Like I, I matter. I matter. What I'm going to say, or what I'm asking, or a question, it matters. So I think it shapes how I show up, in that I take space today, and I'm not afraid to do that. And this decision, I mean, it was very hard, Sonali. I mean, it shaped who I am today. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I think the two things that really kind of stood out when you were sharing this was first 2000 years of patriarchy, right? I mean, now because we have social media, there are a lot of opinions out there. We find very old movies that justify all kinds of toxic manipulation, all kinds, like
Yeah.
emotional, physical, all kinds of abuse is justified. It's glamorized. Women are
Yeah.
told that this is something to be proud of, or this is what it is. This is what we have been wanting all our lives. And to know on some level that that is wrong, but to also know that the world has not moved at the speed that you have moved in. Like there are still people who exist in the same timeline
Yeah.
that we exist, who still believe that is the right way of life, right? And obviously to also know that at a societal level, women are an easy target.
Mm.
They're easy to point fingers at them, easy to make people feel that she's the problem, she's the reason why this didn't work out. And to know all of that, and still putting yourself out there and be like, hey, I need to make this happen for myself. And I love when you said occupy space, because I think that's such a strong thing. Women mostly, even when they're little girls, are always told to take a back seat,
Yeah.
right? Don't be part of important discussions, don't go out and play, don't do this, it's very rough, it's gonna, like, everything from not like asking girls to go out on the plane in the sun because it's gonna affect
Yeah.
their beauty,
Yeah.
to giving them doll houses and kitchen sets to play and like all. I'm not saying parents are manipulating them, I mean, but they're not even questioning like why
Yeah.
are you doing this, right? I
It's
mean,
unconscious. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
unconsciously
Mm.
there, right? And to know that at the end of the day today, when like 50% or more than that of the world's population plus people at work, women are there occupying spaces, but still going through the similar challenges, that their voices are not heard, they're just doing like mediocre stuff at work. Slowly we're seeing women in leadership, but it we still have a lot more, like
Yeah.
lot far to go, right? So
Yeah.
that you probably are someone who's at the start of making something happen. Like people are going to look at you and be like, hey, she did it, so I could do it too, right?
Yeah, and
So
I just want to say, like, no judge. It's a very, very hard choice to make, and no judgment to anybody who chooses to stay and prioritizes the family or their children. I mean, it's almost an impossible choice to make. And I just want to say that yes, I chose myself, but I also had my mother who stood by me, and so and that she gave me so much strength. She said to me, "Do what makes you happy." Most mothers would say, think about the children, my grandchildren, but she said, do what makes you happy, and I'll stand by you. And that influences my work today, because if I have had I'm very fortunate to have had that kind of support, Sonali. It keeps me, I hope, grateful. So I wish to offer the same support to others who may not have that, and who a lot more don't. As you just said, it's how they raised, it's gender coded ways of raising children. What can you do? So then yes, I am proud to have stood for myself, and I hope to stand by others who seek to forge their own path. Yeah, because it
love
is our
that.
right. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, I love that. And I think as a parent also, I mean, it's difficult, right? Because I mean, if we're talking about moms, my mom is a very big ally. But I
Yes.
mean, the thing that my life was way easier because she rebelled at her age, when at
Yeah.
her prime.
Yeah.
She made a lot of changes happen. So when it came to me, I had to fight a little less, right?
Yeah.
And then my sister came, so she has to fight, yeah, a little lesser, not too much, but a little lesser than I had
Yeah.
to. Of course, she's second child, she's rebel by nature, so I don't think it affects her as much as it affects me. But every time I look at her, I'm like, how are you taking these things so easily? Because I look at my other friends and their parents who are kind of making a big deal out of it, but then I see that you can't do anything but be grateful, because at the end
Yeah.
of the day it's lottery, it's luck. Like
Yeah.
I could have had any other set of parents who made me a completely different person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I feel it would be foolishness to just think that it's only us and our effort and whatever we have
Yeah.
done, without acknowledging that there's so much that's been passed on, good and the bad.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, thanks for sharing. I know it must have been very difficult. I can only imagine. But I mean, fast forward to today, you're doing some fantastic work. I just want to tell you on the record, I'm so proud of you. I
Ah,
mean, I,
coming from you, my superstar. I mean, really. I think I said on my Instagram post that you're a force of nature. You really are. Sonali, you're exhausting. I'm like, oh my God. No, but very well done. And blaze on. But so coming from you, thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you,
Yeah.
of course. And when I look at you, sometimes I meet all kinds of people. I mean, we because of our work, we go around and meet all kinds of
Yeah.
people. And majority of the people that I meet after they cross a certain age and tick off a certain things off their bucket list,
Yeah.
they tend to slow down, or slow down in the sense not really slow down energetically or anything, but like have less ambitions, have less things to do, and like, okay, we're kind of like settling. And I've often heard from people that, oh, when you reach a certain age, you're also going to naturally settle. And I'm like, I'm not looking forward to that. That is scary to me. I just don't want to be there. But then I look at someone like you and I'm like, okay, then that's what I'm talking about. This is something to aspire for, right? Because you look at someone and you're like, hey, things don't necessarily need to settle down. You
Yeah.
can keep looking at something to do, you can keep aspiring for more. And of course, you have a lot of things to balance. You're a parent, you run your own businesses. And a lot of the businesses that you run are way more purpose over profit. So much of the
Yeah.
heart goes into it, right? So
That's not
much of
necessary.
yourself goes into it.
Yeah. Too much. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, uh, if I were to ask you, like from the outside, it does look like you have it all,
Yeah.
right? And do you believe that, and or do you think that your idea of having it all has changed for you over the years?
Okay, yeah, it definitely has changed. So I think you're way younger than I am. I think you're early 30s, if at all. Of course, I'm 45. So in my 20s and all of that, my idea of having it all was very driven by society's success metrics. So I wanted to, so of course I followed the book and the path that was laid out for me and laid out for all of us. I married a very successful man. I popped out two children. I went off to London, came back. I had a job, all of that. But the thing is, and I started working with the two kids. They were three and one was, what was it, whatever it was, 6 and 3 or 9 or whatever it was. And it was so the thing is, to have it all, you have to do it all. And then to have it all, there was another narrative that said I must excel at it all. And so what was happening is, when the kids were small, with my little 10 months and 3-year old, I used to go off to work and I used to really enjoy this place that I really loved it, because it was my sense of self, right? That was getting buried under this motherhood and this duty and all of that. But when I came back, I was very tired. And then I didn't enjoy the children so much. And so I died of guilt. So I carried a lot of guilt. I had it all, but along with this was massive spoons of guilt. Okay, that was one. That was not fun. And secondly, again, as I said, it was driven by what society saw as successful. So I'm working woman, I'm the whatever, and then wife and mother, and do it all to perfection, or just not possible, tough. So today, how has that definition changed? Um, I've really let go. I do. I am an imperfect have it all. I do the best as I can as a mother. Okay, and that's good enough. And to my work, which I do look for purposeful and meaningful work, I do the best that I can. And having it all now is also woven with my life stage. So we've got to look at the life stage that we are today. Sonali, you can do certain things that I just can't do, because I have a daughter who's in class 10 and a son who's 13, and so I'm restricted by that. So the scale of what I can do is restricted. What I really want to do is go and sign up for a Kundalini yoga course for 3 weeks and sit there. That is my habit all at the moment. I really want to do it, but I can't. Because life stage and the roles that we play should give us a realistic view of what we can and cannot do. And just not parents, even if you're looking after aging parents, so many things, if you're sick, if you're unwell, all of that, right? So today my habit all is viewed through a kinder lens of being a mother of two children, in crucial stages. Yeah, and then I pick what I can do work wise accordingly, and I scale it down where I have to, and I make the compromises. Unfortunately, yes, because the role of the mother is still important to me. I've got to get these kids through there, and I do the best I can by work. So the have it all is become viewed through a life stage lens and through a reality lens, and also the support we have lens. It's a kind of version. And finally, it is no longer defined by societal metrics. Could not give a toss. It is defined by what I think is important to me, which is why this Kundalini yoga course is sounding marvelous to me. Like, I want to do it, and if I do it, it'll be my have it all. Who is in the corporate career world? It's not even a thing. But I know what it would give me. You know what I'm saying? So my have it all is changed. It is to my internal, from it is what drives and brings meaning and purpose and joy to me now. Less about proving. Finished proving.
Love it.
I
Yeah,
hope.
yeah.
Yeah,
Kundalini yoga sounds really interesting, by the way. I really hope you get around doing it sooner than later.
yeah.
And
In my
secondly,
50s, I'm not going to stop. It will be a little delayed. The
why
growth
not?
is not
Why not?
linear. Later.
Right,
There's time. There's always time. Yeah, yeah,
right. And I also have a feeling that it is the idea of having it all, and whatever ambition, aims, checklists have become a
yeah,
bit more fluid in nature. Like, you're
yeah.
not very fixated that it has to be done by this year, this month,
No,
whatever, all that kind of stuff. And you're
no.
okay to, I mean, you're also allowing life to happen, right? You know
Yeah,
that things pop up, things can happen, and these things might require you to prioritize something else over the other. And
Yeah.
I think you're automatically leading with that energy, so you're not like frustrated, or you're not regretting anything, you're not resentful, which is really
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. Because we play multiple roles, don't we? And the other thing is, somewhere along the line, as you journey along, I mean, look, what you and I are both, we both work with people, we have programs, we have all of that. But if I look at you, and I'm really going to speak candidly here, it's like you're such a rocket. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, at any given time, I mean, look at the output of what you're putting out. It is incredible. Now, in the last 6 weeks, I've completely fallen off the wagon, because if you're going to work as an entrepreneur for yourself, you have to put yourself out there and your content all the time, right? Right now, for various reasons, last 6 weeks, I've been completely off everything. I can't do it. I have not been able to do it. So I prioritize whatever has to be done at that point of time. And I'm like, it's okay. When I come back, I come back. So it's yeah, as you rightly said, what do you say? Go with the flow. Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Meeting life where it's at.
Yeah.
But that's also because I've come to know myself. So the journey is important. I spent years proving. Now that proving and consistency and commitment and persistence and failing and retrying and failing, somewhere your becoming becomes your truth. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, you're
so
right. Yeah.
I'm not chilled. I'm more. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you're right. I mean, see, this year has been so crazy. I mean, when I started, in Jan, I had a completely different view of what I want this year to be.
Yeah.
And midway, things changed, and things changed like crazy. I mean, first half of the year, I had a job, and I did not have dogs. And now I do not have a job. I am running a business. I mean, this is not even a freelancing, or let's go with what it's a registered entity, which is crazy to me right now. We
Yeah.
have two dogs
Congrats.
which we have, thank you, which we have rescued. And I mean, the amount of energy that they need, because
Yeah.
now my parents want me to be also home and available. And when we are running a business, we also want to be, our calendar be pretty open. So if there's some event, I want to go there. If there's some meeting that has popped up, I want to like make space for it. So now I have to figure out, oh, okay, who's going to watch the dogs, who's going to feed them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we're constantly like trying to figure out things with each other. And because most of the people at home have like a job where they have to go at work, and I can still work from home, so I'm still
Yeah.
trying to figure out, oh, what is happening, right? So it's really crazy. Of course, it started off with a lot of like frustration, like, hey, come on, man, this is not my fault, I really want to go there. But then at the end of the day, um, nothing beyond family, right? You got to put some things beyond you on top of the list, right? Sometimes it can fall off, and family is the biggest thing. They are very supportive, but I do know that, hey, it's okay, right? One of my dogs, she yells a lot, and then I used to get really flustered. So imagine being on a client call trying to pitch, and in the back of my head, I'm waiting for her to yell, waiting for her
Yeah.
to yell.
I know
Oh,
that feeling.
she's gonna anytime. Now what I do, I pick her up. She's not here in my room, thankfully. My house, she's at my parents. I pick her up, I'm like, hey, this is the person who's gonna yell anytime. And the client goes, oh, I'm like, okay, great. So we chill, right? So if she yells, you're gonna be oh again, because that's not gonna be my fault, because I'm gonna lose my train of thought, right? So a lot of these very innovative, interesting things that I didn't think I was capable of.
Good
But
for
at the
you.
end of the
You
day,
know, I just want to add to that. It's good for you that you'll be bringing in, your dogs into the picture, because you're a dog mommy, dog parent. Yeah. So, for women, I mean, for so long, because we've had to strive so hard to prove ourselves, especially in traditional sectors like banking and engineering and all of that, and to compete like a man, and then be 10 on 10 and then 20 on 10. Um, right now there's that slow shift where at least where we can bring in the different roles that we play, but we need the right organization for that. So so for me to bring in that 3-year old or the 10-month-old toddler and say, you know what, I've got this baby on my lap, or she's sleeping or he's sleeping, and excuse me if I have to pop off suddenly and adjust something or whatever, or starts crying or whatever. But that bringing in the roles that we play, honoring those roles, because when you are saying this is my doggy and please excuse me and her if she starts barking, it's honoring your role as a parent of the dog, right? So I think that shift we've begun to slowly see in organizations. And for everybody who's working in some place or with people who are not honoring those multiple roles we play, it's really bad of them, because we do need to honor our different roles,
Yeah.
even if it's
Agree.
caregiving
Yeah.
of an elder parent, right?
I
So
agree.
we need us to all advocate for that, even if you're a father. I just
Yeah.
want to, right, whichever, whatever, wherever we fall
Yeah.
on the spectrum, if we've got some role that we're playing beyond that of the professional, which of course we are, and that highlight that role. If you need to go and take care of a sick parent or whatever, that's got to be part of the
Yeah.
conversation, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I think that way, I hope we're at a better world today.
You're right. Because I think none of us are guilty to bring back work home. Like it took us, I think, 2 seconds to just quickly create a workspace in our bedrooms and our living rooms and our kitchens. All of
Yeah.
us have some arrangement or the other. So why are we so hesitant to also take a little bit part of the home life into work? Because like at the end of the day, it's the same person, and if our house or other things in our life requires us to be there, we should at least have be able to have a conversation. Whether it goes through or doesn't go through, like makes I mean again that's a different debate. But at
Yeah.
least people should be open to say that hey, I my parent needs me here without the hesitant. I don't understand the whole like why do I need to tell you a reason for my leave? It's my leave. I can take my leave.
Mm.
What is there to all of that? Like it's crazy.
Mm.
I know. On that note, we have some really good comments. I'm going to pull them up. We
Okay.
have the first one from Geeta. Geeta is saying, "So true. We cannot have the best of the both worlds. It has to be a compromise. The guilt is what kills us. That is what
Mm.
we need to learn and fight." Oh, very nice.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, I couldn't agree with you more, Geeta. The guilt is killing. I think when we had spoken earlier about this conversation, you'd said that what is the one thing that you'd want women to sort of drop going forward into the workplace, right? The one thing, a narrative that we could change, and that narrative is guilt. We inherit it. I mean, I'm telling you, Sonali, it is passed down from generation to generation to generation, and it is 2,000 years. It's in our cells. It's so scripted into us. And so a woman's right to choose for herself, be for herself, go to work, and then you're coming back and you only have 45 minutes at work for the children, and you're exhausted, and then you die of guilt over there. You know what? We're all doing the best that we can. That is enough. We have multiple roles. So I would, dropping this guilt, and replacing that with I deserve this. I deserve a life too. I am multifaceted. I deserve to rest. I deserve to treat myself. I deserve to prioritize myself sometimes even above the children and the family. You are not here just to serve, but that is a whole rewiring, and it needs support. You need your partners to support you, your families to say, yeah, you matter, and you need work support as well. So
Fantastic.
yeah, the guilt is, I spent 3.5 years trying to reduce that guilt and lay down the burden of guilt. It sits on your shoulders. It's very heavy after I left and the divorce and all. 3.5 years, because I just felt responsible. It took a
Yeah.
lot of work. So it's very intentional. You have to, yeah.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
It's
Yeah, I
not,
think
yeah.
one can start with the support system because at that point of time you're probably at your lowest and you don't have the energy to kind of quickly get back up on your feet, and it's okay to take time. But I think if you have a good group of friends or parents or whoever people around you who kind of try to help with that rewiring, right? I
Yeah.
mean, in your head, a lot of times we have a lot of negative self talk, but if
Yeah.
there are people around you who love you and who you trust,
Yeah.
then they kind of counter those thoughts and say, like, no, you're not the bad person here, whatever, things like
Yeah,
that.
I know. It's very
That
important.
really
Like,
matters.
just a partner, or your friends, or your family to say, you know what, you're doing the best you can. Okay, you only have 45 minutes with this person or that person or whatever. It's okay. It's okay. You're doing the best that you can. And listen, that those 45 minutes over 20 years of raising a child will add up. I mean, and plus the weekend. It's so important to have somebody who's by your side to say you're doing the best that you can, even if you've had a crap day at work, and it's something really important went rubbish. um God, it would be so nice just to have your friends, your family saying it's okay. You did the best you can. Just had a lousy day.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then we beat ourselves over that. Why didn't I shine like a superstar? Man, it's not possible to shine like a superstar. Sometimes are
Every
bad.
single
Some
day.
days are bad, and as a part of the blessed journey, those fails, we have to learn to be self-compassionate and say it's okay. I'll get it. I'll get back in there another day, and I'll be better. But for today, it was bad.
Love
You
it,
need
love
you
it.
need those supportive voices. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. All right. We have Neha. Neha is saying, for me, being consciously grateful for all the privileges we have and then operating from that lens helps in moving towards making a larger impact with humility, grace, and authenticity to the
Mm.
ones who do not have similar privileges. It's humbling.
Yeah. Agree. No?
Yes.
Really
It's very,
well
very
said, and
important.
agree on this as well. Yeah.
Hmm.
Gratitude at the center. Yeah.
Oh, we have a question.
Hmm.
Himanshu was asking, it could be a childish or curious question.
Hmm.
Since I'm married, how can we understand women better such that we are not assuming emotions, rather understanding it? Naomi?
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that question. And thank you for asking that. How can we understand women better? I think if we just, I think if you just, I think we thrive on communication. I mean, communication is the key. So maybe just asking, like, how are you? What is going on with you? You seem a bit off is a bit, can trigger people actually the wrong way. But you don't seem to be your usual self. You know, how are you? Like, what's happening? What's upsetting you? I think if we phrase it a little better with each other, both women, each partner has to phrase it to the other better. No, so thank you for thinking about the women. We too have a duty to ask the same question to our partners. In the same manner, right? I think let's just ask with intent to genuinely understand what is going on with this person. Why is this person suddenly not so okay? I think that would help in understanding. No, not assumption. Assumption is the ruin of relationships. If I'm divorced, learn one thing at least. Let's not assume and let's not expect. Let's ask. Let's ask. There's a way to ask it, which is maybe get away from a really high pressure situation and go for a walk, go have a coffee together and say, okay, you know what? In that decompressed atmosphere to sort of say, like, okay, what's going on? Tell me, so tone, all of that matters. Now, this is after all these years and one marriage behind me, insight. I hope that helps.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything you
Naomi,
want
I
to
think you
Yeah.
remember when we were coming back from one of our events and we spoke about love languages.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, do you know love languages and what are your love languages? Things like that. I
Yeah.
think that's a really good tool inside whatever knowledge base that's available to us. I would say
Yeah.
it's the basics, the foundation.
Yeah.
Each of us, irrespective of what relationship we're in, any kind of relationship, right? If you know the other person's love language and if you also tell them your love language, I think
Yeah.
communication automatically becomes so much better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Thanks for bringing that in. That's a superb insight. Himanshu, that's really, Sonali's absolutely right. Love languages, what the five of them, it's out there. Understanding our own and understanding our partners is also very, very insightful. And then caring enough to do something about it. Like mine is words of affirmation. Chumma to say, if I don't say anything, that means it's good. It doesn't work. Yeah, I want to hear it because that's my love
yes,
language, words of affirmation. Right? I think
yes.
yours is
Words of
gifting. I know
affirmation.
yours
Yes,
is gifting.
yes, yes.
You
I,
gift
I,
so
I,
much. Hmm.
I gift a lot. Yes, yes. Words of affirmation, gifting, then acts of service.
Oh, that's another
Love
one.
it.
Mine is big time acts of service. I think it's
Acts of
ingrained in
service.
all women. Acts of service, like chai banao, I'll make something for you, I'll do something for you. Yeah, touch, physical touch, which is another very important.
Yes,
That's important to me. So words of
yes.
affirmation, physical touch,
Quality time.
quality. Oh, that's also important.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, even if you have a chat with your partner, again, any relationship, friends, partners, parents, I don't know, co-workers, apart for the whole physical touch part, of course, other four, right? It's so good because then you know that the other person needs to hear you state the obvious,
Yeah,
or the other
exactly.
person, the other
Yeah,
person, you know for a fact that if you gift something to them, they are not gonna feel like you're guilt gifting because
yeah,
that's their love language, right?
yeah,
So there's no space for confusion.
yeah.
I hate it when people are just like confused as to I don't know what. I mean, ask me on a good day.
Okay, so love languages and lots of ask me's, yeah,
Yes,
on
yes,
a
have
good,
a
yeah,
conversation.
in a decompressed space, not in that attention
I
space.
mean, I think having these conversations when things are on a good note,
Mm,
things are great. Like having, I think, regular conversations with each other. I love to have like a, the chai pe charcha kind of a thing. Sit and ask each other a few questions, get to know each other, all of that. So on the days when things are not going well, I have enough knowledge. I have enough ammo to use that. I'm like, okay, let's see what I got in my kitty today.
Mm,
Things like that.
mm.
Just effort. That's it.
But for that, you have to have a lot of mental energy inside of you to care enough about others, whether it's at work or on a personal space, right? You have to have that headspace, and you have to have energy, and that is why I'm just going to bring it back to my pet thing, which is we have to look after ourselves. We've got to first live for ourselves. So one of my most beautiful quotes is from Rumi, and Rumi says, "Give not from the depths of your well, give from your overspill." Give from what is overflowing, right? So first we have to put into ourselves, and I have learned this lesson over and over and over again. Just now I've just been so terribly sick because I've again given from the depths of my well, and the well has been emptied, and I have been exhausted and fainted and died somewhere. I mean, really, I have. So, and I know that we have. So now, and I've always done this, but life happens. Sometimes what to do, there is no overspill, you have to go to the depths only. But as a practice, really do what nourishes us, and not only eat and drink and sleep and all that, but the hobbies, the fun things, the things entirely that are about you, not about the partner, not about the family, not about the children. Now, what fills me up, and then when I'm overspilling, my God, I'm so much better. I'm a better mom. I'm a better work colleague. I'm a better everything, right? So I just want to say that we can't be there for anyone else until we are okay in ourselves. So prioritize ourselves. It's very important. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. On that note, Naomi, thoughts on therapy? Yes, no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh God. Yes. Yes. I was just in therapy last after a long gap. When did I go? This week only. Yes. Yes. Day before yesterday. Had to hear some hard truths. But no, she was so
Yeah.
sweet. Answer your question, yes to therapy is just a way of making sense of our feelings. And it's also a nice place to go when you're feeling overwhelmed or confused. So I've done therapy. I did therapy when my marriage was breaking and falling, a little before that, because we were struggling, right? We were struggling. So there was, couples therapy first, and then there was personal therapy to understand what was going on with me and all of that. Then it stopped. Now, many years later, this week I find myself back there because of overwhelm. So yes, 100% yes, and it helps. Yeah,
Yeah. Also therapy, because I think it's unfair to expect everyone else around you to always have, their cups
yeah,
filled and the overflowing water. Like, what if everyone around you who's supposed to like give you that energy, lift you
yeah.
up, they're also like pretty
Halfway.
down that week. Like, what are you supposed to do? Then
Good point.
that's when a lot of resentment happens. And also, like, I wrote one post around how workplaces have now become like a place for everything. You have the gym, and you have
Yeah,
like food, and you have, I don't know, like a sleeping room, and you have like a massage, whatever, like you have like an outdoors.
yeah,
So what are they expecting? You come into work, you basically live there. That's the only thing. They can make it into a hostel. So you live upstairs, you go to work, and you go back there, right? So what's happening is people do not have anything apart for that infrastructure. They don't have a social life, and if anything goes wrong at work, they feel their entire life is falling apart because it's all
yeah,
connected with that one entity, right?
yeah,
So you've got to, like, you diversify in investments, you got to diversify other areas of your life as well, which means that even if you have a partner or a friend, expecting them to always listen to you when
yeah.
you're down and lift you up, I think it's a tad bit much.
Yes,
They can
you know
have a
what?
bad day too.
Great. That's a great point. That is a super point, and yeah, it's not fair on them. And everybody's got their own stuff going on.
Yeah.
So it puts a lot of stress on the relationship. You're absolutely right. So, we to save we should go for our own individual therapy, and get a neutral perspective, and not put that, because the partner has to be the friend, the lover, the advisor, the spiritual partner, the adventurer. How many things will this partner be? It's not possible. So, and if you go on asking for therapeutic help from the partner, the passion is going to, it's
Yeah.
going to view you slightly differently. So yeah, I mean, a great point there, that
Yeah.
yeah, affordability is an issue, but it still must be considered. And we spend our money on spending your money on yourself, on therapy, on this, that, there's no value, because it equips you to keep on giving life, meeting life, right? We spend thousands, lakhs on jewelry and this and cars and bikes and whatever the hell it is. But our phones, I know therapy is expensive. It can be very expensive. It's sad. It's really sad. But if you need it, just do it, because it's you can't put a price on yourself. We are invaluable. We are invaluable, much more than any metal. Yeah,
Right. And I mean, at least do something. I mean, I think the dependency on others to lift you up, that's where my question is, right? If you
yeah,
feel
no,
therapy is not for you, because I mean, there are people who it hasn't worked for, or because obviously there's a sense of belief. If it takes time to kind of understand and open yourself
yeah.
up,
You have
clean
to,
it
you
up,
have to,
right?
yeah, find the right therapist, which
Yeah.
takes time. Yeah,
So if you
doesn't happen
think, I
all the
don't know,
time.
gym, meditation, sports, travel, sleeping, whatever
Yeah,
healthy habit, I'm
yeah,
not saying binge eating or doing all the kind, not that. Whatever healthy habit you think keeps you little sane, gets you grounded, brings you back. Apart for venting and getting help from other people, you gotta like figure out that hey, today nobody's available. What am I gonna do?
yeah. We
What
have to
can
get
I
to
do?
that place. We've got to
Yeah,
be we've got to be autonomous. Yeah, we have to
that's
self-regulate
all. Yes,
and
yes.
understand ourselves better and understand what we need to get our energy and our sense of expansiveness better. But yeah, yeah. Mm,
All
mm.
right. Neha is writing, on a lighter note, if you don't go to therapy, the people around you have to take the burden of it, which can cause more harm in relationships. That good. Good. Perfect.
Yeah.
We got it. We
True.
got it. We got it. We got it. Okay. Awesome. This is very interesting. As we've taken a really interesting tangent. But I want to quickly ask you, like, since we are on the topic of therapy and like self love and taking care of ourselves, I want to ask you, what does being okay look like for you, right? And has it changed over time?
Yeah, I mean, being okay, I took it for granted. I'm in my 20s, in my 30s, I took it for granted. I mean, um, today my okay is very tied to the amount of energy I have. It's as simple as that. If I am waking up exhausted, so I love life and I love people and I love to wake up every day with with the interest in life or what is happening is such a gift. But for that you need energy, right? So now I've been, I mean, as a co-parenting mom, two children, this, that, and the other, the energy fluctuates like mad. Like, there are, and I've had it, and I've just had now about 3 weeks of being really low. I've not been very well. So today my okay is prioritizing myself, okay, in terms of rest. So I'm going to take the rest and I'm going to nourish myself and I'm going to see the therapist because it's different levels of okayness, right? So, and I would like to have optimum energy. If I have energy, I can do anything, Sonali, and I do it. I do a million things. I can
Don't I know
single-handedly
it?
this, that. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
if I don't have the energy, I can do nothing. And then on top of that, the world looks terrible to me. I feel there's no hope. You know what I'm saying? If I have the energy, I'm like, okay, even if Trump is being a dot, 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 and it all looking very gloomy, I can, within our spheres of influence, we can still do something good, right? But that's because I have the energy. So yeah, so
Yeah.
long answer is uh, today my okay is having 100% energy. And I'm now very fiercely protective of that now. I will not, yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, I'm curious. How do you give yourself permission to slow down? Because like you do so many things, and obviously, as a person, you're really high on energy, and I also know that you get excited with things.
Mm,
Anything new, anything ongoing, you're on, right? So, which means that the kind of business you've also built, you were speaking earlier, it requires you to show up a lot, like
yeah.
not just physically but also socially, like on the digital platforms, which requires even more energy. So how do you give yourself permission to like slow down, rest, take it easy?
So before I wouldn't, because I was so hell bent on proving myself. Because when I was starting out my programs for women on women and thriving and women being their best selves and all the rest of it, was battling my own imposter syndrome. Am I really qualified to speak on this? Do I really deserve, imposter syndrome? We know it very well. And so I didn't give myself permission, and I would pour myself, and I did it with pride when we were working together as well. I pour myself into everything, prepare 200%. Even if it's a simple interview, like I would go through the questions and write down my points and bullet points, and I don't know what all was going on, because I was aiming for perfection. So there was no slowing down. There's aiming for permission, trying to prove to myself that I have got the right. I've got it. I've got the substance to do this. It was exhausting. And I kept at it, and I kept at it, and I kept at it. And that my growth trajectory of if you look at my story, it is ups and downs. It's ups and downs. There is no phenomenal anything, And I want to just be honest, because we all chase these things. Not everybody can have it, and it's okay. We do the best that we can, right? So and I'm going to measure it by metrics. 3,000 plus followers. I'm choosing 3,000 because you have 3,000 followers.
I don't. I have less.
9,000. No, you have. Acha, theek hai. We're going to talk about followers. 9,000 followers Sonali's got. I've got 3,000. I'm double her age. What is this? Okay. But all those things, the followers, the number of posts, the number of likes, how many sessions, who are the clients, how much are you billing? Oh, good God. There was no rest. What was the question? I forgot the question only. What was the question? Permission to rest. Yeah, I got so excited. So now, after going on this long journey where I'm sitting with my 3,000 likes on LinkedIn, which I've built up with great difficulty and a million videos and content, and trying and trying and trying, three things have served me: commitment to the work that I do, my expansion and growth, commitment, persistence. Okay, and you have to have that. I can only sit here today and say, now I'm okay with my 3,000. You can have your 9,000, no problem. I celebrate your 9,000. I'm happy with my 3,000, and the work that I do is because I have become my truth. You go on trying all of that, you imbibe those qualities. So today I give myself permission to rest. Today I'm okay with myself. Today I believe that yes, I have something to offer that is true and is real for my programs. It's from my lived experience. It's from the long journey, which has not been linear. Many failures. I'm going to say there's been many failures, but I've picked up and kept moving. So now I no longer have to prove, and now I'm resting. It's unfortunately today I give myself permission, but that's because I had to do this. Sometimes it's necessary to do the work. And who was I proving to? To myself.
Yeah.
Proving to myself. I mean, you prove to many people, but ultimately, finally, you prove to yourself. And I think my lesson today is enough proving, enough doing. Be. So today I give myself, because I be, and I'm good, I don't have to be this good.
Yeah. I mean, to be very honest, when I used to look at you like sharing so many videos, I'm like, oh my God, Naomi is doing some great videos. Why am I not doing? I should do. Yeah, come on. I mean, we all do this, right?
Of course we do. Yeah.
I mean, work honestly, because we have also worked together, and when you are colleagues or whatever in the same ecosystem, in the same org, um, a lot of things are very like pitted against you in certain senses.
Yeah.
There are like
Yeah.
numbers and people are measuring stuff, and even though I think both of us are people who look at quality over quantity, the quantity does get to us because like everyone else is only talking numbers, and I'm like, oh my God, my numbers are looking really bad. So then you start becoming someone you're not. So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I was also like very tempted to play a very different game. Then I figured I cannot keep up. I this is not me. I'm so unhappy, and it's okay. If
Yeah.
this is how you measure me, like if you're, that whole quote about if you measure the ability of the fish to climb a tree, it'll, that whole thing,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
fish. I want to swim in the pond or a lake. If you are asking me to climb like a monkey, I'm not going to be able to do it. So which
Yeah.
means we're obviously not aligned here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so great. I'm glad. So comparison is natural. We all look at each other, especially if you're in the same organization, if you're in the same whatever it is, if you're in the same field, this thing, that thing. But we have to, it can't get to us. I can't look at you and have that like pull me down and then work to compete with you. We work to our own measures, right? Is what we're saying here. And The fish, you're the fish, then I'm the butterfly. Now, let me be the butterfly. Now
Yeah.
this is what the
Okay.
butterfly can do. That's it. So I
That's
just
it.
change that scripting from an external lens to an internal. Do what we can do what we can be as consistent as we can be about it, and as authentic as we can be, with a lot of permission for a wobbly. There'll be great times, low times, great times, low times. But that's it, really. Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
Love it. Okay, we're getting some comments. Neha is saying, how beautifully said, Naomi. Thanks for sharing your okay with a nice heart. And we have a question. Himanshu is asking, very interesting. How did you find your truth? We are all stuck in fake layers. Interesting.
Yeah. This is a deep question.
Deep one. Yes.
Deep one. How did I find my truth? I The truth lies in our hearts, in the heart's wisdom. I followed even when it wasn't making sense. So sometimes the truth doesn't make sense till later. I followed what felt right for me. I followed expansion. So whenever you're faced with a choice or a decision or whatever it is, or a person, you should feel a sense of expansion inside of you, expansion and whatever excites you. If anything or anyone gives you a feeling of contraction, like you're contracting inside, that's not for you. Listen to your body. I mean, that's not for you. Finally, I mean, I will again come back to it because it was so momentous, this decision. I'm not to leave or stay in a marriage, to a long marriage with children is very, very hard. You can't just do pros and cons. I mean, people do pros and cons and all of that. You may choose to leave, you may choose to stay, whatever. But I will finally say that finally I threw the list and everything. I didn't make pros and cons list. I also made, but I threw it all out, and I just sat and I said, if I stay, how does my body feel? And I could feel contraction. And if I leave, even though I was so terrified and I didn't know how to drive, I didn't have a job, I didn't know anything, and I was living in this beautiful gilded cage, and I could feel expansion, and I followed my expansion. So even with work, the people that I hang out with, if I don't get a sense of space, expansion, lightness, space, I leave. I won't stay. And like that, over time, your truth, you start understanding what is true to you and what you like, what you love, where you flourish, all of these things. Yeah, listen to your heart and follow the expansion. It's been my way. Yeah.
Love that. I love that. I think I'm just going to add like what came to my mind when we were talking about this. Like when we're kids, we trust other people to make decisions for us. Right?
Yeah.
Very seldom has it happened that parents kind of encourage you to make your decisions even though they know you it might be wrong. If they
Yeah.
see it's going to be wrong, they're going to like sabotage your decision, be like, no, 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 it's going to be wrong. So you never know what your decisions could yield. So
Absolutely.
evidently you're only looking at other people to make the choices and the calls for you,
Yeah.
which means when the tough time comes, you have very, very less faith on yourself,
Yes. Well said. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
which means that for me a very similar thing has happened. I am a very big believer of my gut feeling. If I
Yeah.
have some weirdness in my gut, every time I've ignored it, it has gone to the
Yeah.
dogs. It has gone really bad. I
Yeah.
can't say to the dogs. I
Yeah.
have dogs, so dogs are great. But anyway, it just gone to the trash. It has been really bad. I have suffered and suffered and suffered. And I was trying to, in my head, talk from the world's perspective. Oh, it's going to look really bad. You're going to look like a fool. What are you talking about? This is a dream job or this is this dream relationship, blah, 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 blah. Maybe you are the problem. Maybe you're not able to manage it. So you try and try and try, but at the end of the day, you can't stay there for too long. It's gotta go. Like you will walk out. So the whole thing is, are you going to save yourself a few years, or are you going to eventually get there and be the person who says, I wish I would have done this, right? i
Yeah.
i, I have a very strong repel against anything that makes me regret. I'm very, very afraid of it. I do not want to be like, I wish I would have done that. So I feel I went the opposite direction of it. And I was like, if this is my gut, whether it was like, like never settling for cubicle jobs, never getting a degree, never really getting a proper job at the first place, and keeping my parents always confused as to what is even happening with you, changing cities, getting co-founders, leaving like too many things I've gone through. I, in my heart of hearts, knew that with every decision, I am building the relationship with myself. So with
Yeah,
every decision that goes well, I trust myself more. So right now, anyone comes and like, you don't know, I know it. I know that I'm gonna trust myself on this.
yeah.
And
Oh God,
also
yeah,
knowing that it's gonna go, it's fine. It's fine if
yeah,
it doesn't go. That's still your decision.
yeah.
Right. So
That's that. I think what you said is really important because we're not allowed to make our own decisions. You're quite right. Most people, most of us, especially girls and women, then you forget that. Then you're scared to make a decision, and you're scared to trust the decision. So yeah, I mean, I would just add to what you're saying and say, absolutely right. Thank you for bringing that up. And you know what? If it's wrong, it's okay. It's still your decision. That's how we learn to understand ourselves and what is good for us. And we back ourselves. We have to back ourselves. So when I was in therapy, one of the things that came up was like, back yourself, Naomi, back yourself. And it's with this, what you've just said, make a decision. Yeah, and we have to learn. Most people, a lot of women, stuck in this is stuck in that indecisiveness, right? Can't make a decision. And I used to be like that too. So let's try. Let's go on every small. We must try. That's the only way. So I think it's a great point. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Imanshu was also saying, thanks for the talk. This is the bulb on moment for me. Oh, that's nice. How sweet.
Oh, that's so
Super.
nice. And thank you for your very profound questions that made
Really
us
nice
or me
questions.
also think for sure.
Yeah. For me,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think of that when I was thinking of questions with you. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think on that note, I'm just gonna kind of close it by saying that something that helps me make better decisions is to ask myself, what's the worst that could happen? If I
Yeah.
choose to do what I'm doing, can I think of the worst possible scenario? And can I think of what I would do at that point of time? If you have
Mm.
something to do, if you feel like it's going to be really shitty, but I think I want to still take a bet on this, go for it, right? Don't go blindsided. That's not a good strategy. Think of everything as much as you can, as further as you can, but still put the bet on you. Yeah, bet on yourself.
Yeah. And also, when we look at decisions, we want to see 10 steps ahead, but you can't see 10 steps ahead. We will never know what that final thing is going to be all the time. And you don't even know how you're going to get there. You don't. Most times you don't. But the path will only reveal if you take that first step. If you take the first step, then the second one will come. Just take the second, just take that one step in front of you. That reveals the second. Take the next step, that reveals. But if you think take 20 steps ahead, you won't do it. So that
Yeah.
too. That too.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
There's something I read, or I don't know, I heard there's something called as a hindsight bias.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if it really exists or that person made it up or like try to connect two things. It's the feeling where you thought like in the past that, oh, I think if I do this, it could go wrong. And something goes wrong and you're like, I knew it. I knew it. Right.
Yeah.
So you kind of like you kind of make yourself feel that, oh, I should not have, like, and then but you
Mm.
don't do it for the positives. If something goes right, we don't look like, oh yeah, I trusted myself, good job. You move on to the next thing very quickly.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I mean, you can, like, Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots moving forward, or looking back rather.
Looking
When
back.
you're in the
Yeah.
present, you can go back, and but you can't, like you mentioned, you can't really see and be for sure what could happen. You can
Yeah.
take a wild guess or
Yeah.
uh,
Educated guess, whatever it is. But
yes,
yeah.
whatever it is, yeah. But at the end of the day, nothing
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, we have one lovely comment. Thanks, Sonali and Naomi, for this candid and powerful conversation.
Oh,
Love
thank you.
that.
Thank you. That's Neha. Thank you so much, Neha, and for the
All
questions and
right.
for the participation. Thank you.
Yes, and we are on time. Oh, this was crazy. We went. How are you feeling?
Yeah, always happy, expansive.
Expansion. I love that. That was
It
the aim
always
that we
is with
want.
you, Sonali. And thank you for this conversation. It was good questions. I loved the questions that we also got from the audience, and I liked it. It was nice, reflective, honest. Nice. Thank you.
Yes, Geeta is
Yeah.
also writing some lovely things. Thank you. You're
Oh,
both
thank you,
amazing
Geeta.
insight.
Yes, yes. Uh, so happy to see you. The Geeta is our colleague, and I'm so happy to see Geeta. Geeta's presence online is like warms my heart. Yeah.
Super.
Thanks.
We gotta get together, all of us. All right. Now, before I let you go,
Mm,
this is the time. Tell
mm.
everyone what you're doing. How can we support you?
Oof.
Where do we spam you? All that. Tell about your Bali thing. I want to know about that.
Well, yes. I work with on various programs around women and thriving, and they are workshops. And now I've just started retreats. So yeah, we go sort of retreats that are incorporating movement, because I think that we have a lot of stuck emotions and things like that in our bodies, and we learn to release it and create a sense of expansiveness, that capacity for expansiveness. So anything and everything to do with women, parenting, being authentic, being true to yourself, just women and thriving, or is at the heart of what I do. I mean, how can we be kinder and more loving towards ourselves, and to claim our journeys? How can we make our journeys our own and not feel like we're living somebody else's journey, right? So this is any sessions around this is what I do, and that's about it. Yes. So
Awesome, awesome. So, everyone, please go follow Naomi everywhere on LinkedIn, on Instagram, wherever you can find her. She does some fantastic work, very interesting stuff. She also does a bunch of events, speaks at multiple places. Wherever you find her, go see her. I mean, I'm telling you, if you felt this conversation was crazy or energetic and whatever inspiring, you don't know half of it. You gotta feel it,
darling,
IRL.
well, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. All
Yeah.
right. On that
Hmm.
note, thank you so much again for being here. I am so happy that we got to do this. We have to catch up with each other. Let's do something in December.
Done.
And thanks again for
Thank
everyone
you.
else.
Yeah.
We will see you in some capacity or the other pretty soon.
Yeah. And you go strong. Blaze on, Sonali. All right.
Peace.
See you. Bye.
See you. Bye.